about 5 or 10 years, and then they call them up from out of the blue and say, hey, guess what, we want you to be in our Hall of Fame. In your case, you were still active as a head coach, and they called you, so somebody screwed up, right?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Your first day of retirement was today. If I have that right, your last day was yesterday.
That's correct.
Not a bad way to spend retirement.
I actually left at 2 o'clock yesterday, so I've been retired for a day and a half.
What got you interested in golf? There are all these stories that I got interested when I got my first pair of clubs. It was an aunt, it was an uncle, somebody handed it down. How about you? What was your backstory?
Well, it was very interesting, actually. My father got me started when I was about 9 years old, 10 years old. We belonged to a country club in Kansas City, Missouri, back in the 50s. And every year, the PGA Tour would come to our golf course. And I got to see people like Ben Hogan and Byron Nelson and Sam Snead, people like that play golf. And it just caught me. And so I started at that point, and my dad was a very good player. And so just kept on going from there.
Do you remember at the age when you felt like that you got a handle on the game? Like, maybe I'm good at this?
That's coming next year. Now, I don't know. I turned pro when I was 20, I guess, 21 years old. And when I went in the Marine Corps, I was already a golf pro at that point. So I got to play on the Marine Corps golf team, and everything kind of, when I got out, there was nothing else I wanted to do. Actually, it's kind of a funny story. My wife will agree to this, but when I got out of the Marine Corps in San Diego, I applied for 2 assistant pro jobs. Excuse me. And hadn't heard anything for a couple of weeks. And beginning to get a little bit discouraged. And in those days, back in 1961, if you'd been in the Marine Corps out in California, you could automatically join the California Highway Patrol. So we talked about it, and I was 24 hours away from joining the California Highway Patrol, and got both the job offers from the golf courses. So it's actually, instead of me sitting up here, folks, I could be outside on a motorcycle and give you all tickets.
Do you like motorcycles?
Never been on one.
There we go. Dibble's not getting this job. Missouri, Illinois, Florida, PGA Pro, Marines in San Diego. You've been all over the place, so it seems. So how did you land in Greenville, Tennessee, of all places?
Well, I had been a pro in St. Joe, Missouri, which, in my opinion, is a lot like Greenville, Tennessee. It's the salt of the earth kind of people. And I was the president of the PGA in my area back in 76, was it 75? And I got a job offer in Fort Lauderdale. And a beautiful job, great club and everything. So I jumped all over it, got down there, excuse me, and it was kind of like a fish out of water down there. I just did not fit the area whatsoever. Everybody was from somewhere else. No one, there were no loyalty, there was no sort of conditions, no nothing. So I decided I was going to try and leave. So, and my kids were getting at the age, getting ready to get into the age, and the culture down there was pretty rough. So we didn't want them to grow up and all that. So I went to the PGA National Headquarters in West Palm Beach and asked them, you know, what jobs are open. And I looked at them, and the 2 jobs that were interesting was the one at Lake Hills Country Club in Greenville, and the other was in Fort Worth, Texas. So I got interviewed at both of them. Well, I just fell in love flat with Greenville, Tennessee. So we took that job. I never did know if I got the offer at Fort Worth or not, but it didn't matter. So that's how I got up there.
So your lesson in Florida, that once you, I'm assuming this is the lesson, that once you know what it is you want, you don't give it up, and that's why you stayed in Greenville for so long?
Oh yeah, the people in Greenville and Tusculum College and everything are just, you know, they're all down-to-earth people, and you can trust them, you know, and they're all your friends that you can count on. So it was definitely where we need to stay, especially bringing up kids at that age.
So you've been a coach for a great number of years. What is it? What's the secret to success in being a successful coach?
Well, you gotta be patient, very, very patient. You gotta take each situation that comes up, and you gotta be calm about it. You gotta handle it. You're basically their out of town father, you know, and not to break up the girls or boys, because I coach both, but especially with the women's team. You know, you're definitely their out of town father in that situation. You know, the guys will stand out in the middle of the road and beat each other up. It's over in 5 minutes. But the girls, it takes a little bit longer. So you got to know that. You know, you got to know that, and you got to handle it with patience, and that's really the key. I understand every player's problems, and somebody asked me one time. He said, "What does it take to make a good coach?" And I said, "Look, you have to have a knowledge of the game. You have to be organized, which everybody will tell you I'm very organized, it's almost to a fault. And you got to be fair to everybody. And that was always the thing I tried to be fair to all my players. And so that's why I've lasted so long, I guess.
You're a successful coach. You've obviously been a successful husband. You and Cindy have been married for well over 50 years.
Right.
What's the secret to that success?
Well, you can see right out here. It's very obvious. With my wife for 58 years, raise your hand, baby. I have all 3 of my children out there. I've got 6 of my 9 grandchildren. And the thing about it is, you know, if you don't have a family that supports you and loves each other, you're not going to go anywhere. And this situation here, we get together like this 3 or 4 times a year. They live in Atlanta, they live in Charlotte, they live in Knoxville. And my grandson Cody back here just got back from Afghanistan. So, you know, when they all get together, especially when they come to our house, you know, I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. They don't ever go to bed. They're up and they're having a good time and they're laughing, but there are no problems whatsoever in any of the relationships.
I want to quickly go back, and I know you were being a little facetious about the difference between the guys' team and the ladies' team. You've seen a lot of different personalities within the generations come along. So much has been made about this millennial group that was born, you know, along about 95 or so, or at least that's when it stopped being called millennial in that 95. What is it about the generations? What are you seeing as being the difference with these kids coming along today? And I say these kids like I'm 107, right?
What time is it?
You can do it in about 2.5 minutes, and it's awesome.
It is a major problem, I think, right now. It's it's like almost about 3 years ago, it was like a curtain fell, it was like this. Up to that point, everybody listened to you. You could talk to them constantly. Everybody respected you. The parents were fine. Everything's changed. I don't know what it was. And now you get 20 kids on your team. You know, 10 or 12 of them are different. You know, you have a problem with the parents. They don't always support you like they used to. You've got to be very, very careful how you handle this. And in the old days, you could handle it all yourself. You call the parent, you only call them because of something really bad. But it's different these days. And I talk to coaches all the time. When we go to these tournaments, everybody in Division II is very close, especially in the SAC conference. And I talk to these coaches all the time. They all say the same thing. They're kind of frustrated with the way the kids are these days. And they're not all like that, obviously. And I can selfishly say none of my kids are like that, but they're not. And it's frustrating. That's part of the patience of being a golf coach. You've got to handle those things.
So tomorrow will be your 2nd full day off. What do you do next week? What do you do next month? What goes on from here?
Well, I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to stay in golf kind of a little bit. I'm going to be a rules official. I'm going to travel around East Tennessee mainly and be a rules official. I've been a PGA member for 54 years, so I'm going to be involved in clinics with the other pros in the area. And I'm going to go to every sporting event Tusculum has. Because I haven't been able to do that because I've been on the road 60, 80 days. So I'm going every morning. I'm going to go see how lacrosse is played, how soccer is played. And when I go to the golf tournaments, I'll kind of hide behind the trees so the kids don't see me. But I'm going to go to everything I can. And my wife and I are going to go take a trip this fall. We've been halfway around the world a couple times, but we've never been up to the northeast part of the country. So we're going to go up there and whatever, we'll find out.
So Bob Dibble is coming to a town near you. Bob Dibble, everybody.